Hi everyone, I'm Gabriela Isler, Miss Universe 2013, and today we're going to watch together the highlights of my coronation night. Let's get started.
Gabriela Isler, Valencia, Venezuela!
You know, as Latina, we usually try to pronounce our city like the louder that we can, and I don't know, we practice that performance before the contest. Okay, swimsuit competition. I think this is one of my favorite moments during the entire night because I was feeling so confident. Usually swimwear is where that place that you don't want the cameras around, and you know that you have a camera behind. It was like, oh my God, they're watching actually my butt. And I was like, you never want that actually. And I was feeling so confident. I loved the music. And I don't know, I think that was my night, you know, when everything conspired and I was enjoying so much that moment. And as a Latina, people say you should like walk and have that, I don't know, like a tropical performance. You are in Moscow. This is one of like coolest winters ever. So show your Latina moves. And I was like, no, this is me. I'm like, this is my walk. I'm very paused. I'm enjoying this moment. And you can see it. I was just happy to be there. They call me again. And of course, I have to clap. I remember Luciera told all the girls, like, you shouldn't clap. It means you just step into the top and that's it. Like, come on. I need to clap. I mean, I made it. I'm the top. And I remember that I not just clapped for myself. I was happy to see the other girls like made it into the top. So I was like clapping and celebrating that moment with all the girls. Okay, this is evening gown, and people was not expecting watching me walking out of the stage with this gown. I remember that the Venezuelan team brought me a couple options for that night. I was like, no, I mean, I'm confident that this is the dress for final night. I was not needing the heaviest dress or the most expensive dress for that night. I need to be confident on my own skin and confident that I was showing my personality. And this dress is from Alejandro Fajardo, a Venezuelan designer, that actually represents my elegance, my personality, like very simple, but at the same time, you know, full of details. And it made me feel confident, 100%. And you can see it on the video, like I was floating on the stage. And that was not because of the dress. It was a combination of me feeling beautifully confident on the dress and enjoying 100% the moment, not thinking about the heaviness of the weight of the dress, not thinking on the, you know, details. It's just my moment. So let's keep going. Top 5. You know what? I don't know why. Always, for some reason, God, the universe, the judges, production team, I don't know. But Venezuela is always called the last on any of the top. Could be top 10, could be top 5. And I think they love the suspense. And they love to have the Venezuelan fans and the pageant community like waiting, like, is Venezuela's made into the top or not? And they call me as the last one in the top 5 of my year. And I was like, oh my God, I made it. But I suffer a little bit, I have to confess. I was not expecting to be on the top. My year was full of beautiful girls, so well prepared, with a beautiful English. I was speaking Spanglish at that moment. So I thought that maybe my communication was not like the best one. I did my best, of course, but I sound like very, very Spanglish. So made it in the top 5. Final question came from Steven Tyler. Can you believe it? Like Steven Tyler, like the legend. I was like, wow. And I was thinking in my Spanglish, of course. So Steven Tyler. I was watching his rehearsal like before the competition. And when you hear Dream On, it's like fill your blood with energy and adrenaline. And you're like, you start to believe it, like, come on girl, like dream on. This is the moment to dream. And when I say it, like I get goosebumps, is the word. And it gets me emotional because it's like, wow, this is for real. So he was asking me about my biggest fear. And at that moment, I was struggling with myself to overcome many fears, to be there on the stage, trying to stay honest to myself, trying to be authentic, trying to be always the best version of myself. So fears, whew, many.
What is your biggest fear and how do you plan to overcome it?
Yo creo que uno tiene muchos temores, sin embargo, esto no es negativo.
I believe that one may have a lot of fears, but nonetheless, this is nothing negative.
Yo pienso que los temores los tenemos que sobrepasar y que esto nos hagan cada día más fuertes.
I believe we should overcome all of our fears, and this in turn would make us much stronger.
I think I was not prepared to share those fears with the public. I was sharing more my vision at that moment to overcome. Like, I need to move forward. I'm not stuck in those fears or those feelings, right? So I have to confess, I never answered, which was my biggest fear. People sometimes make critics about my answers. People love it, but this is the industry. But I was focused on just show my positivity on that moment. Okay, after a final question, suddenly I was Patricia and myself like holding hands, and I was like, this is a deja vu moment because we were roommates and we have such a nice chemistry that all the people was like, you guys should like be together in the top 2. You are such a good friend, you're gonna make it. And that energy was around, right? And suddenly that final moment looks like a deja vu to me because it was like, this is not real. Like we kind of like manifest that moment. Both of us, we were not competing against each other. We were competing together. And I love her, I respect her, and it was like, you did it, you win. Because I was not aware that was me. So I hear first, like, I think in that year they changed or they switched how they call the runner-ups. So it was not like first runner-up is. They call like right forward Miss Universe S, and I was expecting to hear the first runner-up name. For some reason, it was like a blackout of sound, or I don't know, I didn't hear, she didn't hear, and we were both confused. I have to confess, and I say, this is for you, like you did it, you nailed it. Congratulations, Patri, te quiero, I love you. And she was so nervous, she was like, really? Like, we were not aware of what's going on. I remember when I saw Olivia walking with the sash, and I saw Stephanie, the choreographer, coming with the crown, and I saw flowers, and I started like, oh my God, this is me, I did it. And I remember that moment like I was froze. I just kind of like have roots on the same spot of the stage for like 5 minutes. Was just looking around, and all the girls came, especially Panama, Carolina. She had the phone and she did the first selfie of my coronation night. But the most pretty thing about that moment, besides of course winning, it was to see the girls and the contestants coming to give me a hug, and they were happy for me. That's what you realize, that I did something good, you know, they were happy for me. So kind of like fulfilled my heart in that moment. Stuck in the same place, like for 2 minutes. Didn't walk, and the crown fall. And by that time, I think that happened before in another election nights, and they were like, we need to put some glue on the crown. The crown cannot fall again. I did it. So after that moment, of course, my life changed forever. Thanks God my family was there. I remember I have 7 women, like my mom, my sister, aunt, cousins, and all the 7 have sashes of Venezuela because we're looking for the 7th crown for my country. I remember to call my family to the stage. They just allow me to have 2 people with me. Of course, my mom, my sister, and have them there with me, receive a hug from my mom, and just realize that it was not like achievement, a personal achievement. This was a triumph for my country, for my people, for my community. It just not just changed my life, but actually my entire country. Give them the opportunity to celebrate, to have hope, to enjoy, because of course, I mean, we know that Philippines is one of the biggest fan base, but Venezuela, they are super in love of pageant industry. So of course, after the coronation night, they have the after party, which I stayed for like 5 minutes. But no worries, it was a Steven Tyler. I got my picture. I have it, you know. And they switched rooms. They sent me to another room with my family. I spent the night like with my mom and my sister, hugging together, the 3 of us. And next day, you know, your new life is waiting for you. I flew to New York in one of the biggest and challenging winters ever. First time for me here in the big city. And since that day, I realized that I was the leader of my life in any sense. And the journey began with an amazing team, with beautiful experience ahead, and one of the best years of my life. So this is my story, and thanks for watching. Sending you a big hug and a lot of love.